Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 versus the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Which one is better? Because a lot of folks think that the Pixel 9 Pro Fold is the better phone, and I just don't think that it is. And it's not because of the Tensor chip, right? A lot of people think that the Tensor chip is mediocre, it's mid-range, blah blah blah, all those crazy things, which is not true in any stretch of the imagination. But if you are a Snapdragon snob, and pardon me, I said that in another video, so it kind of sticks now. Snapdragon snob. This one has a Snapdragon 8 Generation 3, which is the best power plant you can get basically in a foldable. It was the flagship chip for 2024. I know the Snapdragon 8 Elite is out now, but this phone just came out a couple months ago, and yeah, Snapdragon 8 Generation 3, 12 gigs of RAM, 4400 milliamp battery, and still has the same cameras that have been in here for years, but it has the most important feature that comes to any foldable phone for me, and that is the S Pen that's on the back. There's just nothing in the foldable phone market that competes with it. And then, of course, you get DeX, you get wireless DeX, and you get the best optimization for multitasking support. You can have up to 3 active windows open at once, and you have a fourth one just kind of hidden, but you can have kind of 4, but really 3. And then we have the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, which has the same cameras as last year. So we can't really be like, well, one's got 2-year-old cameras, one's got 3. Neither one of them have the best cameras that you can get. And it irks me because both of these phones cost $1,800. $1,799. That is a lot of moolah, especially when you're not getting the best of the best of the best. I mean, these cameras, they're good. They take good pictures, but if we were to put them in the Pixel 9 Pro, would you be happy with that? No. If we have the Z Fold 6 cameras and the S24 Ultra, would you be happy with that? No. And I feel like there's just a lot of settling and compromising that's going on. Both phones have 7 years of support, and then you have other things going on here for like the biggest interior screen out of the foldable. So we have a much bigger front screen. So the front screen is basically, it's like having a Pixel 9 Pro for a foldable phone. And then when it opens up, you get an 8-inch screen, which is nice. So we get the regular size screen. Let me open this up so we can see it. But out, we get a big 8-inch screen, as opposed to the 7.6-inch screen and the different aspect ratio that we get with the Z Fold 6. So it's hard to do this. This microphone being in the way really messes things up for me whenever I'm trying to show stuff off on the screen. So if I can get my hand on it, there we go. So here we have it. We have both of the phones, 8-inch screen, 7.6-inch screen. So there's a 0.4-inch difference there. God, this microphone. I love having this microphone, but it makes it difficult whenever I want to hold up 2 different things at once. So that's cool and all. Big screen, big experience. You don't have the under the screen camera. So the Z Fold 6 actually has a camera underneath the screen. You can see it very vaguely right up there in the top. And it's pretty much dirt, just being honest. But what they want to do with this is they have it where it is not disruptive, right? It doesn't take up and make a hole in the screen where you've got stuff going on. And I can appreciate that. But the way that the Pixel 9 Pro Fold has done it is they put it up in the top right corner. It's not really right there, line of sight in the way, but yeah, it's still there. But it's actually a much better camera. Same selfie camera as the front screen. And then the crease on this one, I think is better. It's not quite as much of a ditch. It's very kind of, it's got a smooth entry and exit whenever you're using it, but still very obvious right there in the middle of the screen. And then the same thing with the Z Fold. Like they try to make it a little bit better, but still, it's quite obvious that it's there as well. And that's just something that we still have to live with these foldable phones in the here and now. So I want to talk about feasibility, and I want to talk about why I think the Z Fold is better. So, I mean, when you look at a lot of things, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, 21-watt charging. You got 25-watt charging with the Z Fold. They both have wireless charging. They both have very similar sized batteries. The Pixel is a little bit larger. I believe it's 4650 versus a 4400 milliamp on the Z Fold. And they're both nice. I mean, they're very premium build quality phones. The biggest thing that I think a lot of people care about is you take a look at the Z Fold 6. It's still got a very narrow front screen on it. Now, of course, they made it a little thinner, a little lighter, shaved things off here and there, 1 millimeter at a time. but it's still very much not where a lot of people want it. But I'm actually okay with it because I like the dimensions. When you take it, when you open it up, and whenever I want to hold it, like I don't have the biggest hands for a guy that's 6 foot tall, like 6'1" almost. I don't have the largest hands in the world. So holding this one-handed is so easy. And one of the reasons why you get the smaller front screen is because Samsung actually considers the interior screen the primary screen. They expect you to do most of your business on the interior screen. It reminds me a lot of the design philosophy like with the Razr. So the idea is you get the front screen, you can do whatever you want on it, and it works perfectly fine. And then when you want to do actual stuff, you open up the phone, you get the interior screen. Well, Google has taken a different approach. And one, I don't like the changes they made physically from the Pixel Fold. I mean, the original Pixel Fold, I love the front screen. And then whenever you open it up, you get more of like a tablet dimension. If they had just made it a little bit lighter, made it a little bit better, made the bezels a little bit smaller, I think a lot of people would have been happy with that. I wish they would have kept that. Well, instead they made it basically the size of the Pixel 9 Pro, and they added the word fold on the end of it. But it's misleading because it doesn't have the Pixel 9 Pro cameras. So don't call it the Pro just because it's basically the same size if you're not going to give it the cameras. Like, it really should have better cameras, especially since Google, the Pixel, they're synonymous with having the best cameras. The Pixel 9 Pro does have the best cameras in the United States. I think they're second globally, but in the United States they're first. And then you get this 8-inch display on the inside, which it's larger, and the aspect ratio is a little bit different. And it's very, I got to kind of stretch my hands or my hand to hold this one-handed, but I don't like that they took away the more rectangle approach with the screen. But anyway, yeah, big screen on the inside. If you want to have a portable tablet, then this could be right for you. And a lot of people like this. A lot of people like having the normal size phone screen on the front and then the bigger size screen on the inside. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just personal preference, choice, and things like that. But that's where they start to lose me. Google has got to do better with the multitasking support, multi-window support, and a lot of people complain about One UI. Like, oh, One UI, I hate it. It's skinned. It's got bloatware, which we need to get rid of that term. Like, bloatware for me is like the 20 different apps that get pre-installed from the carrier, or if they just install a bunch of junk apps. And a lot of Chinese phones are really prone to do that. Samsung, what people call bloatware is like the Samsung calculator, right? It would have like two versions of the same app, which I get why Samsung does it. They want uniformity with their apps, but really, there's no bloatware on these Samsung phones anymore unless it's carrier installed junk. And even still, they both start with 256 gigabytes of storage. It's not like before where it's like you get 8 gigs of storage and there's a gig of crap installed on your phone. We're far and away from those days. Just delete the stuff. Get it off your phone. It's not that big of a deal. Quit whining. So Z Fold 6 can have 3 active windows open at the same time. So you can take advantage of this real estate, have 3 open apps as opposed to the 2, and you can have a 4th one that you can call up to the screen. So that's one of the benefits and the advantages of One UI. That extra level, that extra step that Samsung has taken gives you better multitasking, gives you better advantages you can take with the screen. And on top of that, you get DeX and you get wireless DeX. And what is DeX? It's their desktop client software. And I love it with the tablets. It's so nice. You plug in the keyboard on the tablet. It's got the little pogo pins. Instantly pulls up DeX. And it's basically like having a laptop. So if you have a tablet, a Tab S9, S10, whatever, DeX is fantastic. I love it. I use it so much on the tablets. I don't use it so much on the phone, but it's there. And then even wirelessly, you can connect it to a display, or even wired. You can connect it to a monitor or something, and then you can use it that way. So that's really nice. But then the icing on the cake and like the final straw that breaks all the other foldables' backs is this, the S Pen. And like I said earlier, I don't know why no other foldable phone, especially in the States, can get on board with this. Make a stylus, people. Make a stylus. Because I just don't see the point in having a foldable phone, having a portable tablet in your pocket that you cannot use a stylus with, right? You really need a fully built out stylus that goes with it. So, yeah, I think the Z Fold 6 is better. Now, it's not as improved. I will say the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, I think in many ways is more improved than last year. The Z Fold 6 is basically a Z Fold 5. They slapped a new label on a new chip, and We've got Galaxy AI, which both of them have AI. They both have AI out the wazoo, and Samsung Galaxy AI is basically kind of rebranded Google AI for the most part. They both have Gemini that you can use. So I don't really think that's big of a deal. I mean, both of them are pretty good in the AI department. Both of them are pretty decent speakers, good call quality. I think the call quality is better on the Z Fold 6. And some people are like, why don't you ever talk about the call quality? It's weird with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. You basically have to get it in like this sweet spot that doesn't feel like it's centered properly on your ear to hear well. I don't really understand why Google did that. I mean, you can still hear well, but I think the handset speaker on the Z Fold is better. But anyway, moral of the story, it all comes down to purpose and function. If you want just a larger version of a phone with an 8-inch screen on the inside, then sure, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, it accomplishes that. But from a tablet, professional productivity, work, multitasking perspective, the Z Fold 6 runs circles around it, and that's really where you need to be in the tablet foldable phone space. If you're not going to take advantage of it, if you're not going to evolve it, and that's what makes no sense to me is Google makes Android. They also design and make the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, but then they're clearly behind Samsung in this whole area when it comes to multitasking and being a foldable. So Google still has a lot to learn in that department, and they're like the teacher. Like they design the test. They should be able to cheat on it and give themselves some better features. So yeah, it's a good phone. And the Tensor 4 is a good chip. I think the Tensor 4 is a really good chip. I have no problems in that department. But when it comes to being the best foldable, I think it comes down to the Z Fold 6 still. And that's just me. I mean, maybe you have a different opinion, but having the S Pen, having those extra features, that extra mile they've gone when it comes to the support, multi-window, DeX, all those things, it still wins for me. And that's why. And that's why I still choose this one for the best foldable phone that you can get. So that's all I got. If you have any questions, comments, gripes, concerns, complaints, differing opinions, I got just a place for you, the comment section. Go there and we can talk about it. If you enjoyed the video, if you like this stuff, hit the like and the subscribe button, little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out, which is usually every day. I even put one out on Christmas, even though it was like a big thank you video and like talking about plans and stuff for the future, but kept it kind of light, wanted to tell everyone how much I appreciate them. So if you didn't see that video, go watch it for sure. And that's all I got for today. So as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time.